before you watch the fan cam, a massive shout out to IP Vanish, the best VPN in the world. Okay, guys, if you haven't checked it out, now is the time. What time was this game? 3 o'clock. If you didn't have the VPN, you wouldn't have got to watch this game. I'm telling you guys. Scan the QR code. Click the link in the description as well. You can get up to 83% off when you do that, and enjoy the fan cam. Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very well. We've just beaten Everton 2-0 in the Premier League. I'm here with Charlie. We're having a good time, mate.
Well, yeah, some people are having a good time, yeah. Mate, 3 points. Mate, it feels like it's been a while. Well, it has been a while.
We'll take what we can get, mate.
Yeah.
We'll take what we can get. Do you know what though? It's not quite like Wolves, is it?
No, it's not. It's not quite like that. But bro. Yeah, 3 points feels like a while. When was Wolves the last 3 points in the league? Actually, might be. It could be.
Burnley? No.
Oh, it's Burnley. Yeah, sorry, Burnley. Yeah. So it feels like it's been a little while since we won a game. But yeah, mate, all we had to do today was get the job done, get the 3 points any way possible, and we did it. So we can't really complain about too much.
Talk to me about the way you felt before the game. Bad run of results coming up to Italy. I think it was the first time since we lost against Basel in 2013 that we had gone up in the Champions League at half-time and managed to lose the game. So there's this little stat for you. So not a lot of confidence in that sense going into the game, but there's got to be an optimism that we're going to break out of this bad cycle, and we've done it.
Yeah, no, we have. I'll be honest with you, I was pretty nervous going into the game. Not been in good form. Everton won 4 of their last 5 games. Yes, away from home, particularly at Stamford Bridge. Their record's not good. They haven't won it since 1994. But they've got good players. Dewsbury Hall, Ndai, Grealish, players that can cause problems, players that are in good form. And, there was reason to be nervous. But, when we started reasonably well, Dewsbury Hall going off injured, sort of in the first.
That was a good sign for us.
That was a positive moment for us because he's been causing problems. I'm not saying like the game would have been different if he'd stayed on, but you would imagine they would have had a better chance. Cole Palmer starting as well was a positive again. He's got another hour under his belt. Takes the goal really well. He was definitely better than he was against Bournemouth, so we got to take the positives from him in that situation. But we were fortuitous as well, by the way. After we went a goal up, there was a familiar pattern where we kind of stopped playing a little bit. Everton, we gave up some really high-quality chances to Everton. They should have scored. There was a header from a free kick. Jack Grealish should have done a lot better as well. And then there was an opportunity where they played a ball across the box, and all it needed was someone to just tap it home, and there was no one there. So we're quite fortuitous on that front, but we get the second goal at the end of the first half. Malo Gusto there to tap in. Was there to finish in the penalty box. And, Maresca's had a lot of criticism for Gusto being that far up the pitch in terms of an attacking sense, but he gets a goal and an assist today. And for me, mate, that was probably Gusto's best performance in a Chelsea shirt. I thought it was outstanding.
Ever?
Yeah, I think so, mate.
Wow.
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really, really good. He was everywhere. He's taken a lot of criticism at times, especially last season where he was poor, he wasn't at his best. But when you see him playing like that, you see how good a player he is, and if he keeps that form or anywhere near that form, he's going to contribute massively to the team this season. And you can tell Maresca likes him. Maresca said before about how important a player he is, and I think we saw today that's exactly why he starts and why he's in the team.
I'm a big fan of Gusto anyway. I obviously loved what he did when he was overlapping, and I think that he's adapted this season a lot better under Maresca. Really struggled last season, but it's not just the performance, because it was pretty fucking good. I mean, left foot, right foot, pinging passes, through balls, got a goal and assist as well, mate. Before, a couple of months ago, never scored a goal in his life, mate. And now he's out here, this is his second goal of the campaign, and he's got an assist, which sounds a bit standard, really, when you're on 3J for the season. But for Gusto, this is like revolutionary.
Yeah, it's pretty good for him, mate. I mean, he's got more Premier League goals than Isak and Wirtz combined at the moment this season. So there we go. You know, he's doing well, and that's what you want. Like, we just need as many players contributing and chipping in with goals and assists as possible. So if he can get a few throughout the course of the season, that's only going to serve us well. I thought it was absolutely brilliant today.
I mean, James as well. Like, the guy hasn't had a rest. I suppose you could say the same for Enzo Fernandez in a way. Although he didn't start at Bournemouth.
No, Enzo Fernandez
didn't start at Atalanta.
No, he started all of them.
Fuck, he started all of them. None of them have had a rest, mate.
But do you know what the big thing for me about Reece James is? It's a massive thing. He's played 90 minutes in a week now for the first time in a long, long time, and he's come through that, and that's absolutely massive. He played 90 against Bournemouth, 90 against Atalanta, and 90 again today. All in midfield, and he's played reasonably well, and he's come through that, and the body's held up. I don't think that can be underestimated, just how massive that is.
Does that concern you a bit, though? The fact that we're risking him in that sense, or does that give you a confidence boost?
No, that's confidence, mate, because it's the next step in his process of getting back to playing as regularly as possible, is to play 3 games in a week. Maresca's constantly been asked about, can James play 3 games in a week? Is he ready to start 3 games in a week? We've got the answer. He's now James. I don't think there needs to be any question marks over him.
Obviously, he's going to get dropped for Cardiff.
He'll be rotated and stuff. But in terms of like, can he play 3 games in a week? Can he do this and that? I think he's answered the questions. I don't want to sort of be too premature and jump the gun here, but I think those injury issues very much look like they're behind him. And once again, as I said before, he deserves an enormous amount of credit, and so does Maresca for the way that he's managed him and the way that he manages players in general coming back from injury.
What did you make of the midfield with Enzo in there? Because it looked, especially in the first half, like we were really struggling. Enzo's legs, I just felt like there was positions, and I was thinking, who's there? I know he was roaming up the pitch, but if you're playing Enzo and Reece isn't able to cover a certain area, he needs a bit of support. And I guess maybe Gusto, maybe that's the answer, that he was inverting. I don't know. But the midfield as a whole, I think, without Caicedo, there's always that question mark.
Oh, yeah, no, it's obviously nowhere near as good as when Caicedo's in it. Enzo Fernandez has not been particularly good form the last 3 games. He's playing a lot of football. He needs a rest, but with no Caicedo, Lavia Asugu injured, it's very difficult to do that at the moment. Clearly, he doesn't trust Andre Santos at this point in time to start consistent games at the moment. I'm sure he'll get to a point where he does, but he's not quite ready for that. It wasn't his best game, but it was another 90 minutes. He definitely won't play on Tuesday. He'll have the week off now, I'd imagine. But you know, it wasn't his best, but ultimately, like, it was fine. You know, it didn't cause us any issues. One moment where he probably should have. The pass in the first half, right, he got it right, would have been through on goal, definite goal scoring opportunity, but didn't quite get it right. But look, it was okay from him. Like, he's definitely not at his best. He definitely needs a rest. But yeah, I don't think there's anything to be too concerned about.
You know, the clean sheet as well is huge for us. And I mean, I was having a conversation. I think the more we talk about this, the more we're going to accept the fact that this is the case. Is that, and I think you already have, actually, to be fair, is that Sanchez has really picked up form, and he deserves so much credit. Not to mention, obviously, having Fofana helps us a lot. Yeah. Let's talk about the back 4, and then obviously we can move on to the goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, mate, back 4 was good today. Cucurella a better game than he's had in the previous few. We touched on Gusto. The centre-back pairing were outstanding again. Really, really good. And this is our best pairing right now. You know, they've kept, I think it's 5 clean sheets in the last 6 games they've started together. I think the only game we conceded was the Arsenal game. And Chalobah's really picked up his form from the start of the season, and having Fofana alongside him, I think, is really helping him out as well. And I think it's easy to forget, because he's not been available much recently, it's easy to forget how good Fofana is. He's unbelievable. Like, he makes such a difference. He's aggressive, front foot defending, good in the air, reads it well, carries the ball out well from the back, good passer as well. Like, he has got everything. And now it's the case of, right, he can play 1 game a week. Let's now build up to him playing 2 games a week, and a similar situation to James. Eventually, we should be able to get to 3 games a week. But he is so important to this team. He really, particularly with Chalobah out, he's massively important. But yeah, fair play to him, mate, because we've missed him a lot. And again, he's showing how good a player he is. And he probably, I know he's not played much for us. I know he's not played much for Chelsea, but I think he's playing his best football since he's been at the club.
You know, the thing as well with Chalobah is this debate that, he's not a starter. I've always said he's like that bracket above a rotation player and that bracket below a guaranteed start. He's sort of in that middle ground.
Yeah.
But when you give him a good partner, I mean, he started regularly under Tuchel, so I don't see any reason why we don't continue this vein of form as long as he's alongside a competent defence.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's no surprise that when he's alongside a Tosin or a Badiashile, his level drops a bit because it kind of drops to what he's surrounded by. But Chalobah, time and time again, has proven a doubt is wrong. Constantly gets written off at Chelsea, was forced out to Crystal Palace on loan, whenever it was last summer or the summer before. And he keeps proving people wrong. And he's shown that he's more than capable of playing for Chelsea and more than capable of contributing to this club. Yes, we know in an ideal world that Chalobah probably isn't a first-team regular week in, week out when all our defenders are fit, when Cole and Fofana are fit. But he's a very good player, a very good guy who can contribute, gets what it means to play for the club and always puts in 110%. And his performances have been absolutely brilliant for the majority of this season. And again, he deserves enormous credit as well.
Yeah, I mean, one player that I was really impressed with was Garnacho against Atalanta. I thought it was a positive impact, but it's the same question that's lingering. Where is the GA? Where's the goals? Goals isn't everything. But if you're doing all these things, having all these shots, and you don't score and you don't get assists, it's kind of pointless. He had more opportunities today and didn't take them.
I mean, look, his finishing today was poor. He could have easily had a hat-trick. There was one in the first half where he literally puts it just wide after had a bit of a defensive mix-up. And a couple in the second half he's really got to do a lot better with. You know, he has got to work on his finishing. His end products wasn't great at Man United. It's obviously not great having joined us as well. But the reason he plays so much and the reason he starts a lot is not because of what he brings you going forward, but unfortunately, people might not want to hear it, but the defensive side of the game is so important. The ball retention as a winger is so important in a Maresca system and in modern football. And the reality is he keeps the ball well and he works really hard defensively, which is why he gets the nod over a Gittins, or why he starts instead of an Esteval or whatever, is because of what he does going the other way. Like, there's no denying that Esteval gives you way more going forwards on the ball, but he doesn't give you the same level of defensive work rate and the same level of ball retention that Garnacho does, which is why he starts more games. Yeah, he wasn't particularly good today. In terms of his ball retention, he was decent. In terms of his defensive work rate, he was fine. But we saw a lack of end product and a lack of quality in the final third on the ball. Esteval's much better at that. But there was a moment when Esteval came on, he was in the attacking third, takes some Everton players on, gives the ball away, and then Everton have an attack. That's part of the reason, in Maresca's mind, why he's not starting.
Yeah, I agree. The defensive side, Esteval, that's an age thing, that's an experience thing. You know, I think that will come in time.
Yeah, of course it will.
Which is why, again, I think it's pretty much a no-brainer that Neto starts the majority of Premier League games.
Yeah,
but European football's different kettle of fish. We'll see what happens. Maybe Cardiff. We'll see Esteval.
Esteval start Cardiff for sure. I'd be shocked if Neto started that game.
I mean, I thought Gittins did a great job when he came on, though. I mean, very direct. Trying to create, trying to make things happen. Obviously, we didn't get a goal from him, but certainly a few promising balls where if someone would have got on the end of it. Yeah. I don't think that Gittins had a bad day when he came on.
No, he was all right.
But I mean, I can understand why Garnacho would be really peed off.
I mean, yeah, he's done okay. He was positive when he came on. He tried to take them on. But again, like Garnacho, end product's lacking with Gittins as well. So it's just a lack of consistency.
But if I was asking you, how did Gittins play apart from the end product, what would you say?
He was positive. He was all right. You know, he tried to make things happen, but again, there was a bit of a lack of quality on the ball in the final third, which is kind of tells the story of most of our wide players, to be honest.
Yeah, and just finishing up on João Pedro, mate. We don't have the lap. It was him or Mark Guiu.
Yeah.
I guess Guiu starts on Tuesday. Yeah. That's probably the thinking.
Probably, yes. I mean, I've been quite critical of João Pedro recently. This was better than what we've seen in recent weeks. His hold-up play was better. He was causing the centre-backs more issues. I still felt there was a bit of a lack of quality on the ball at times, and I still feel he's drifting in and out of games and not contributing anywhere near enough as we expect and as we need. So, yeah, we got to see more improvements from him going forwards, because whilst the lap's out, he's going to be really, really important. So this was better, but I'm still expecting to see a lot more from him.
Score predictions for Cardiff?
It's a game we should be going through. I mean, they're top of League One, which is something we shouldn't be taking lightly. We'll rotate, of course. It's an opportunity to make a semi-final of a cup competition. Yes. We've got to take it seriously. I would expect us to win, but if we don't take it seriously and we're not on it when we turn up at these lesser sides, we've seen what can happen with us against lesser teams before. So we just got to be bang on it, mate. But I would expect to win, maybe a 2 or 3-1. Yeah.
I like it, mate. I like it. Not on the fence, mate. I was waiting for you to be on the fence.
No, I can't sit on. Mate, you cannot be on the fence against a League One side. I've got to shame. Mate, I'll see you tomorrow morning.